Hi everyone, welcome back to If My Heart Had Wings Snow Presents. And today is December 24, so it's Christmas Eve, and let's see what happens today. So yesterday is nothing more than Kotori playing some game with Aoi. Well, actually, she's practicing because she wants to be good at it and beat Master Ageha. So in the beginning of Snow Presents, so December 20th, Kotori was talking about some game that she was playing with Ageha now that club activities, so Soaring Club, is suspended due to the holidays and the snowy weather. And Kotori has lost so many times with Ageha, and one of the items on her to-do list is to beat Ageha at least once. And so far, Kotori is not successful. So she did learn some techniques and skills playing with Aoi. And after 103 losses, Kotori was able to secure one win. And it's like, well, I learned my combos, my techniques, my hidden abilities, and hopefully this will be enough for me to beat Ageha. But sadly, she still lost, and Kotori decided to give up. It's like, well, I'm just going to compete with her in academics, so forget about this game, even though she was still upset about it. So let's see how it goes today. So I will go back to the 23rd at a future date. So once I get through more of these events, something will unlock in the event on the 23rd. Okay, so 24th. Okay. So, for some reason, Kotori's acting like a housewife. So I think she might be in her apron and, well, at least she's cooking something. Okay, so she's asking Aoi for advice like... Oh, so she's reading some recipe. First, put the meat in the pan, heat it, and boil this. It's like, do I throw away or dump this hot water? Or okay, so once it boils and it whistles, so dump the hot water and wash the pot cleanly. Okay, I get it. So it's morning. Okay, so we're looking at this from Kotori's perspective. It's like, well, I woke up early and got into the kitchen. Oh no, we're actually looking at it from Aoi's perspective. It's like, well, when I woke up and entered the kitchen this morning, I saw Kotori, who is working at or fighting against the pot, and while she's cooking, she's on the phone. Good morning, Kotori. Oh, hello, Aoi. And I'm surprised Kotori didn't get shocked by it. Oh. So, oh, I'm sorry. So that was, Aoi on the phone. And let's see what else Kotori says. Oh, so replacement, okay, I understand. So it looks like Kotori is calling her mother. Okay, so Kotori's gained some recipe from her mother over the phone and trying to make it as the mother talks along. Okay, so once I dump out the hot water, I fill it up again and boil meat. And when it does boil again, okay, so I'm gonna scoop it carefully this time. So it looks like Kotori is getting a soup recipe from her mother. There you go. Okay, so she's gonna start with using beef and bone. And what else is Kotori gonna put in? Okay, so, this meat looks pretty big and round, and it makes a good dish. So yeah, today is December 24th, and it's Christmas Eve. And it looks like Kotori wants to show her cooking skills for tonight. And that's why she's doing preparations right now. Okay, so to make this, I have to let it boil on low heat for 3 hours, and if there's not enough water, just add it in as needed. And after that, so cool the meat down and remove the meat from the bones. And if I let it cool down, it looks like I can remove the fat. And that'll be good for the soup base. Well, it is time consuming, but I'm sure it'll be worth it in the end. Okay, so I'll call back for the next steps once I get the soup ready. Okay, so I'll call later. Okay, so goodbye, Mother. Okay, so Kotori is now off the phone. Oh, so your mother was teaching you how to cook, right? Yeah, because this is a secret recipe that only our family knows. Or it's a secret recipe that's passed down in our family. Really? Says... Let's see what else he says. So what are you making then? So it's gonna be something good. So it'll be delicious and just look forward to it. So it'll be a surprise for you. Well, it does seem kind of complicated and difficult to make. But then again, I'll have to anticipate and just wait. Okay then. Cake! So I think he was asking Kotori, like, so what's for breakfast? Cake. Oh. Well, I have a reservation, so I'll go get it later. So I think it's like, well, I think it's like, what else did you make that you're gonna make for Christmas Eve? It's like, oh, cake. Oh, I bought this elsewhere, so I need you to help me pick it up. So where is it? Well, I'm looking forward to tonight. You seem kind of worried for no reason, and I'm wondering. So, Kotori is... Well, we're kind of like each other. But then again, today will be a special night. So, I have a girlfriend named Kotori, and I was annoyed by the mood of Christmas, but now I can understand the feelings of those who are floating in the sky. Well, then again, Aoi is the same. It's like, I'm floating too. And besides. So, going back to the to-do list for Kotori, I remember there's one entry where it's like, for Christmas Eve, I want to spend a romantic night alone with Aoi. And she's making it special by cooking something extravagant, in her terms, for Aoi. So yes, Kotori's notebook. And whatever it is, so I have to help fulfill her wish, grant it. And something about, because that's something only my boyfriend I can do. So, Kotori? So what is it? Okay, so I'll make tonight a romantic night. Okay. So, I feel like Kotori is shy about it, though she does understand.
アゲハたちがうっかり遊びに来ないよう遠回しで嫌味にならない微妙な言い方ではっきりと釘を刺しておかないと。
So, I'm not sure what Kotori said about Ageha. It's like, well, I have to... Okay, so unlike Ageha, I want to do everything the proper and gentle way. And I'm sure for Ageha, she likes to be all crazy. She does things in a rash way. Or brash way. Well, I think it's okay because you can't read with, or like read the air with this. And in fact, you may prevent others from coming in. Yeah, so you may be blocking other people from coming in.
わからないわ。そこはあえて空気を無視する可能性だってあるもの。
Well, I don't really know, but there is some sense of ignorance in the air. Or it can be said that there are also no possibilities of doing harm. So Kotori begins to write the word done. Wait. Okay. So it looks like Kotori is about to burn the soup. Okay, so she's writing some text while she waits for the soup to boil. So I was like, oh, so you're still thinking about that Street Fighter game. So Street Fighter 4, right? So you're still upset that you lost against Ageha.
それがどうかした?
And what about it? So Kotori gives a pretty negative atmosphere. Well, okay, so it's like, well, I think I might be able to find somebody else who could help you. So how about Mabo? So Masasugu. Maybe he'll know some strategies that you can use to beat Ageha. Okay, so for the whole time, Kotori's been, or she's still angry about, well, I can't believe I still can't beat that master.
そういうことはもっと早く言ってよね。せめて昨日教えてくれてたらあんなことには。
Well, if you do know about this help, why didn't you let me know earlier? So I could have went to Masasugu earlier and got some advice so I can beat that, Ageha. So Kotori still remembers about losing yesterday, and that's why she is still upset about it. And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot."
もういいの。しばらくアゲハとは対戦しないから。
Oh well. Well, I'm not gonna play with Ageha again for a while. And that seems to be the conclusion. And it's like, well, I should forget about my loss because it's gonna be bad for me. And if I keep thinking about it, it's gonna be bad for my mental health. Well, I'm sorry, so I should have told you sooner. Okay, so I'm going to go make breakfast. So have you eaten, Kotori?
まだ。
Not yet. Okay, so how about we make it together? And Kotori's happy. Okay. So it was from night that I felt like it was Christmas. Okay, so we're back on the menu. So it's the other days where we get to hear some, well, I think there might be some other people who will help you beat Street Fighter, or like help you beat Ageha in Street Fighter. And that's why we end up rewinding back to the 23rd. So I did remember some help that he could use. It's like, how would the outcome be different? So anyways, moving on. It looks like we have another event. And let's see how this one goes.
Happy holidays!
Okay, so this is where the real celebration for Christmas Eve takes place. So, happy holidays from Kotori. And same with Aoi. And Hat. Okay, so they fire some firecrackers at the eve of Christmas. And still, it's just the two of them. So, Aoi and Kotori. So, it kind of feels awkward and lonely. But then again, on the table, so in terms of food and entree, there's plenty. And Kotori's happy to present the dinner on the table. And she's like, so how is it? So you made all this, right? Says Aoi.
そうよ。葵を驚かせてやろうと思ってね。
So it's like, yeah, I made all of it. And I wanted to make it a surprise for you.
寮でいつも一緒に料理作ってるし、普通のじゃびっくりしないでしょ?
Well, I admit, so you always make the dinner at the Flying Fish Manor as the dorm mother, and for just a change in life, so for the special day, I want to be the one who makes dinner. So, are you not surprised? Yeah, that's true.
どうかな?
So, anyways, how is it still? Well, I was surprised. And plus, it looks delicious.
そうでしょ? 味も多分大丈夫よ.
And that makes Kotori happy. He's like, well, that's good. And I hope... So I wonder why Kotori's worried about the taste. It's like, well, I hope it's alright. Well, from smelling it, I am very sure that it'll taste good. And so what's this soup? So soup that Kotori made starting early in the morning. So there's a big pot in the middle of the table, and it's what's generating most of the smell in the room. And let's see. So okay, so I didn't notice the smell until now.
これはね、ボルシチよ。
So this is the Borscht. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, so Borscht, so it's like a Russian food?
うん、ハバネ家の秘伝のレシピなの。手間がかかるから、お祝いやクリスマスくらいしか作ってもらえなかったんだけど。
So yeah, it is a borscht, and it's a special recipe, and it takes a lot of time and effort to make. But for this special occasion, so Christmas Eve celebration, it's worth me making it. Which makes sense.
私にとってこのボルシチはいわばおふくろの味なのよ。
And this borscht is passed on from my mother. So Kotori says it in a very, let's see. So something about deep watering tone. Oh, mellow. So this is the entree that Kotori was making started early in the morning, plus the phone call. And I didn't really hear, or I did hear about this before, but it's my first time actually eating it. So I did hear about borschts before Kotori made one. So the borscht is a secret recipe, and so it seems that the Hibari family does have some Russian heritage in it. Okay. And the other dishes look elaborate too. Well, it's the usual entree that you'll find during Christmas Eve. So, brown roasted chicken. So the typical stuff. And we have salads. And what else do we have on the table? Let's see. Buckets. I'm not sure what it means, and much more. And I don't think I'll be able to finish all of this. But will Hat be able to? Oh yeah, so I do have extras for Hat. So Kotori, let's see. Okay, so puts some Christmas styled dish. So it has lettuce and carrots and a cucumber, which is Hat's favorite food, just for him. And Hat's happy. Okay, so let's eat then. Okay, so okay, I have been hungry, and I was so absorbed I couldn't. Let's see. So I was kind of acting like Amane when she was eating. So if you remember in the original title, whenever Amane eats, she eats so crazily, and it's because Amane doesn't have a good eating pattern, and she often goes days without eating because she's too busy on something and forgets. And when she eats, it's like some monster gobbling up lots of food. And today, it looks like Aoi is copying Amane's usual eating style. Okay, so now we get to see Aoi eating from a different angle. So I put both my hands together, and okay, so he just finished the soup, the borscht, and he's like, well, that was good, and he was basically giving thanks in front of his finished bowl.
たくさん食べたわね。お鍋もう半分くらいしか残ってないよ。
Well, you did eat a lot. And it looks like the only thing left is just... So you ate about half of the pot. So there's still more, so there's still another half?
まさか食べきるつもりだったの？
Well, then again, I didn't really expect that you were going to finish the entire pot. I made so much. Well, then again, when I was still cycling, I would eat much more. So that would have been just enough for me if I was doing heavy competitive sports. So I really need a lot of energy to be able to sustain my cycling activities. Well, there's some other dishes left.
あまねちゃんがいる時と同じ感覚で作っちゃったせいね。
So something about Amane. So yeah, I was making it with the idea of Amane-chan being in here. So I'm expecting that you'll be really hungry, that you'll need to eat a lot. So I really went overboard and made so many dishes. And I'm sure if Amane did show up, she would have eaten everything up. And if I remember correctly, Aoi does tell Amane a lot, like, hey, you gotta keep your diet well, so don't forget to eat. So step back from your research from time to time. Well, I'm sure you made so much that you don't have to make anything tomorrow. You just heat it up and... or as leftovers.
Huh?
Yeah.
ねえ、どうだった？
But anyways, how was it? Well, you can understand by looking at what is left.
わかんない。だってただの腹ペコかもしれないもん。
Well, that doesn't tell me everything. So I can see that you ate a lot because you were really hungry and wanted to eat. But so Kotori's wondering, did it taste good, or was it so-so? Okay, so I have to explain it in words. So yes, it was good, and it's been a while since I had such great feast. So because I'm so busy as a dorm mother doing all sorts of things, and plus the fact that he has schoolwork and the soaring club, I rarely get a chance to have such a nice luxurious meal. And it has been a long time since I was able to eat something like this, or actually eat someone else's cooking. Well, especially for that borscht, that was good.
我が家のお袋の味ですから。
Well, you know, that ingredient or that recipe came from my mother. So it must be that your mother's good at cooking. So I'm sure Kotori's sister Hibari is also good at making it. And I think Kotori's trying to learn and perfect her taste to match what the mother and Hibari has. Okay. And I thought she was a good growing child, but thanks to the delicious food, so Kotori must have good taste.
大変だったけど作ってよかった。葵にね、食べさせてあげたかったの。
But you know, I'm really happy that I had a chance to make it and give it to Aoi. So I wonder, are the other dishes also recipes from your mother?
我が家の定番クリスマス料理を再現したのよ。
Yeah, so I tried to replicate what we would usually have on Christmas Eve. Okay. Well, all of them taste good, so thanks for the meal.
どういたしまして。
Well, you're welcome.
さて。
So what now? It's like, okay, now that we're done eating, what's next? So Kotori continues to smile. It's like, well, it's another surprise.
次はお待ちかね。ケーキの時間よね。
Okay, so now that we want the cake, right? And I'm not sure if Aoi still has room in the stomach for the cake. Okay, so Aoi gets out of his chair and he walks to the fridge. He's like, okay, so it is time to serve the cake.
テーブル片付けるね。
Okay. So I'm going to clear the table. Okay, so after the table is cleared, I take the cake out from the fridge.
ワクワク。
And so this is the surprise that I was going to give to Kotori. So Aoi bought the cake. He knows what it looks like. But for Kotori, it's a surprise. And we see it nicely wrapped. So I take the box with the cake out from the fridge.
長細い。
So that looks interesting. So a box that's long and thin. So what kind of cake is it? Well, okay, so for usual Christmas cake, it's circular and round. So the box should be more square-like. But this one's rectangular. So he puts the box on the table, and then he opens it up. And we see Kotori anxiously waiting for it. And it's something that makes Kotori excited.
カフェフラッグスのミルフィーユだ。
So this is the mille-feuille cake from Café Flags. And if you remember in the original visual novel, in Kotori's route, Aoi takes Kotori to Café Flags, and it's a very expensive pastry shop. And the reason Kotori had confidence to go in during her route is because Aoi and Kotori are a couple, and Kotori thought about it way long before Aoi showed up. But because they weren't a couple yet, it was too embarrassing for them to go. And if you also remember, despite it being expensive, it was well worth it and the taste was super good. And when Kotori ate the first time, she shouted so loud, and well, it can be interpreted as being embarrassing, but the waitress was like, well, that's how it is for our first timers. So now Aoi bought another set just for this occasion. So yes, so the Café Flags, the cafe is in Wendy's shopping district. And it looks like this mille-feuille special, it's customized for Christmas. And it seems to be like a limited item on the menu.
どうしたのこれ。
And we see that there's one for each. So one for Kotori and one for Aoi. So yes, I bought it at that place. So it is quite a surprise to Kotori, but so I think it's like, well, at first Kotori was surprised, but it might also be a disappointment for Kotori.
だってこれ予約開始から1日で締め切られたって幻のクリスマスケーキだってアゲハが言ってた。
Okay, so what did Kotori say? So something about like, well, I was gonna get another shop, but it was closed, and it seems that the reservation booklet was too long, and they decided to stop taking new reservations. So I was wondering, so why is this such a narrow gate? So saying so, something had been written on the explanation of the goods. Okay, so the famous pastry chef who produces entrees at Café Flags won the European tournament, and the shop is becoming more popular. So, let's see. So I'm not sure what Aoi says about the Sweets Hotel or... Okay, so I wanted to surprise Kotori or make Kotori happy, and I didn't know... I'm not really an expert on sweets, so when I did hear about the Café Flags becoming even more popular, I decided to go and buy something else from it. And on the first day of reservations open, I went in and there's already a long line, so he had to wait for hours to place his order. And he's willing to go all out for Kotori. And this was one of the items that Kotori wrote on the previous to-do list, so the one on Isuka's flight log, and the going to Café Flags, which, in the common route of the original title, Kotori crossed it out. So, I have been with them since we started each other, but at that time, so Kotori ate the mille-feuille and was very happy. So, not only it's a popular restaurant, but also a place for memories of us. So, Kotori and Aoi. Well, I'm glad you're happy, so let's eat now. Okay. So, let's see. So I thought it would be hazy after that gorgeous home cooking, but she's unexpectedly pleased. It's like, well, I was afraid that Kotori isn't going to like it, or it's going to be overshadowed by the big dinner that Kotori made. But still, Kotori is happy with it, and that's all that matters. So, and I had to line up in the morning to pick or make the reservation, but the hard work paid off. There you go. And now Kotori gets to tell Aoi how it tastes. The opposite of what had just happened earlier. So, this is good. It's the pastry chef who is said to cast magic with sweets. That face melts naturally. Wait, Aoi, so you don't want to eat? So I haven't seen your fork move. Well, so I'm full from your dinner, and I have no place in my stomach, so I'll eat later. So something about monopolizing. So it seems that happiness is monopolized, and well, it is kind of my fault. So I think I made my entree taste so good that you ate so much of it, and you left no room for your side of the offering for Christmas Eve. Well, still, so just eat without worrying about it. And I really like to see the happy, joyful face of Kotori.
なんてできた彼氏なのかしら。わかったわ。精一杯幸せそうに食べるわね。
So I wonder what kind of boyfriend I'm able to do. Well, I understand. So I'll just eat happily and show my lovely appearance to Aoi. And there she goes. So, being able to laugh somewhat feels unpleasant, but still, she's happy. So the way that Kotori is laughing kind of makes Aoi feel a little bit uncomfortable. And while Kotori is eating the cake, I took out another package from under my feet and put it on the table. So what else? Okay, happy holidays. So just a tea pot. So wait, what about this? Oh, it's a present. Oh, something else. So, surprise, right? So, the real treat for Christmas.
そうね。
Oh yes. Okay, so open it. So Kotori opens the package.
手袋だ。
Gloves. Or mittens. So the mittens, and they're connected by a long string that you see in red. So, let's see. So obviously the mittens are used when you go outside in cold weather. And the string is used when you don't want to use it and you just want to hang it around your neck. Okay, but then again, if you put on the mittens, these mittens, it might restrict your freedom of movement because of that string. So at some point, I think people will end up cutting it so that they will have 2 free mittens. Or a pair of free mittens. And then, so looks cute, says Kotori. And I think it looks good on you, Kotori. Thanks. So anything wrong?
いや、別に何でもないよ。
Nothing's wrong. So, let's see. Instead of saying anything else, so I'm not sure if it's Kotori or Aoi who's looking away while having lots of cold sweat. Oh, so Kotori's looking away. It's like, well, Aoi gave me something as a Christmas present, and I forgot to give him something in return, so it's kind of an unfair trade. Well, she was excited about the dinner, so I guess that counts. And what else did I always say? Okay, so she's been enthusiastic since, or I've been enthusiastic since she was in charge of dinner tonight, and I think I got distracted by the food. Well, anyways, you don't have to overdo it, so you don't have to go overboard. And plus, these mittens aren't that expensive, so if you didn't give me anything, it's not a big loss. And I just bought it while I was walking around. So hey, this looks good on Kotori. I'll just buy it, and it was cheap.
ちゃんと用意してるわよ。私も。
Well, I have to prepare something for you. Is it okay?
もちろんよ。
Of course. Well, I don't expect much, but I'm happy. And when I see it, it looks like... So seeing that, Kotori is a little bit frightened. So what should I give to Aoi in return?
わ
Hmm.
わ
I'll give myself.
なんて
Just kidding. Ha ha ha. And it seems that Kotori's getting embarrassed. Like, well, when I said I want to give myself as a Christmas present, it's quite embarrassing, and I hope I didn't take it the wrong way. So let's see. So I wiped the powdered sugar from the mouth of Kotori with who is laughing with my fingertips and licked it. Wait. Okay, well, let's eat it with toppings later.
食べて
Go ahead and eat it. So when I patted my head, I thought that Kotori had overcome this difficulty, and I'm relieved to concentrate on the mille-feuille again. Okay, so we're back on the calendar. So I think what happened at the end was that it was kind of like what happened with Tarahi in the common route for Yukikoi melt. So Tarahi got cream all over her face. Well, that was because when Tarahi was served a sponge cake for her commemoration of being in the Winter Club, Tarahi just went dive in. It's like, well, I don't deserve this because I'm not the Witch Master that all of you guys and girls see me as. And to everyone's like, well, you can't say that. We do think that you're special because of all of the great things that you did, so look on the bright side. And Tarahi becomes happier, and because she has cream all over her face, everyone had a chance to lick Tarahi. And I think that's what Aoi did to Kotori. So when Kotori's like, well, I'm going to give myself as the Christmas present, Aoi licked Kotori. So it looks like that's the end of today. And there is supposed to be one more event that happens on Christmas Eve, but it looks like that's locked for now, and I have to play the other days to have it unlocked. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow.